Welcome to Data Powered Experiences, and thank you for your time. We in Salesforce believe data and AI in CRM offers a positive loop where data powers AI, AI powers CRM, and the feedback from CRM powers data. Why is it so hard, though, to do this? Because your data is often spread across your enterprise. And this data, when you bring it in, it's not just for marketing, but can really power your entire customer 360. But doing so is very hard because the left-hand side shows the complexity of doing this integration. The right-hand side shows how you may have to do this multiple times for various other scenarios. That's what Data Cloud tries to do by giving you a simple tool to be able to build a source of truth with all your engagement, democratizing that big data to all of your business users and connecting the enterprise in that process. And we didn't just do that as a stovepipe solution. We built it right into the heart of our Salesforce platform. So this platform can power your AI, your automation, and all the applications about. Now, Salesforce itself uses Data Cloud today. And with the power of all the data that's coming in from across Salesforce, we're able to personalize your marketing, your trailhead. And we've also enhanced this to support Slack alerts to our salespeople if their prospects are browsing or connecting to our service instances as well. The way Data Cloud works is we let you bring in all the data through copy or by reference through a federation via Bring Your Own Lake. Regardless of how the data comes, whether through batch, streaming, or live, they're all Salesforce entities. Then we allow you to do batch or streaming pipelines. In addition, we also let you segregate the data across data spaces. Now, the one challenge you still have is the fact that you may have different schemas across your enterprise, and we let you harmonize them through reference models. And note every table in Data Cloud actually can generate a change feed as well. Now, one problem you have with users is even though you may have harmonized, their IDs can be quite different. And that's where the identity unification comes in, where we can stitch all the identities together. Now you have a 360 view of the person. That 360 view, you can now do AI or BI insights. With AI insights, you can use the tools of your choice like SageMaker, Vertex, Databricks, Azure ML, and many more. Now, Data Cloud is not a passive data lake. Remember, I said every table generates change events. So that means you can action on it and you can go trigger flows and natively integrate this with all your applications. We have deep platform integration to make it even more easier. You can directly connect Tableau to Data Cloud and start exploring data. Your marketeers can create rich segments and activate them to all the ad tech or MarTech systems. You can also connect to all the hyperscalers and of course via MuleSoft to the entire enterprise. And you can also use your own lake to be able to query all this data as well. And remember, all this data is protected by the Salesforce platform. So you have the familiar tools of packaging, security, and many more. Data Cloud, as I said, also lets you integrate with your lake and warehouses. So you can actually power the data in Data Cloud via those lake objects or share those insights. And we've also deeply integrated with the platform. So that means you can also do the reverse ETL of certain entities into your existing transactional objects or do a virtual enrichment related list. So you can actually do SOQL queries directly with data sitting in Data Cloud against your from your transactional objects, and they will honor the rules and the row level sharing, etc. of your transactional objects. Last but not the least, every Data Cloud object can trigger a flow, so you can actually integrate this with all your business workflows as well. Now let's see Data Cloud product in action. So the first step, as you can see, is the home screen here. And as you can see here, CRM Analytics Dashboards is natively integrated with Data Cloud. The first step in Data Cloud is bringing data. And you can easily bring data from many sources, including sales, marketing, commerce, all the web mobile apps, Interaction Studio, and many more, and all these hundreds of connectors from MuleSoft. Now, in case of Marketing Cloud, we can quickly bring in all the related data, including consent, including business unit and others. In the case of CRM, You can connect to one or more CRM instances very easily, and you can bring in bundles of information that we create, or you can choose exactly the account that you want to bring and choose the type and click next and deploy and done. There is no complex ETL to maintain, and we take care of doing all the data movement. Now, we've also enhanced it that if you are your web or mobile, all you have to do is drop our JavaScript page, and you can just choose the events that you want to actually send to us and just call the CDP send event. Now, I also have data coming from all of these other sources, MuleSoft, through MuleSoft and other means, and I have hundreds, like close to 500 million records in this system. We can also ingest tens of thousands of requests per second as well. Now I have the data ingested. I can then transform them either using batch or streaming. We offer an easy way, either using simple UI or SQL ways to do transformation. Now that all this data is here, you may want to then only allow certain segment of that data to be visible to different people. You can do so easily using data spaces. Now here I have a default data space which has a lot of different tables and objects. I've also created a new CRMVU2 data space, which is a subset of that default data space. In addition, I've also applied filters here. For example, I have applied a filter on case where only high priority cases are visible here. Now, in order to show that in the UI form, let me jump into Tableau. As I said before, Tableau is natively integrated with Data Cloud. So that means I can actually do live queries on Tableau. And as you can see here, I can drag, drop different things. I can choose the different kinds of objects here, different kinds of representations, and Tableau just smoothly works on Data Cloud. Now, as you can see here, I have this case object with the account. And as you can see, only high priority cases are shown. Why? Because I have connected this to the CRM view2 space. Now, if I connect to the default space, remember that should be, all the cases should be visible. And let's see what happens with this thing. So I've connected to the default space. Now, when I go to sheet one, as you can see here, I have all the case priorities. So this shows you not only the power of data spaces, more so the power of Tableau, which is deeply and natively integrated with Data Cloud. And as you also saw, CRM Analytics is also integrated with Data Cloud. Of course, you can also connect other analytical tools of your choice, but we, of course, recommend Tableau. Now, let's jump back into data streams. As you can see here, this is the contact data stream coming from Sales Cloud with 57 different fields. I have data about people from a lot of different sources, so I'm going to harmonize it. I go to my data model and I do my harmonization. Here, as you can see, I've taken the contact and I've mapped them into the individual. We out of the box ship a lot of canonical model entities. Now, why is this relevant? Let me take you to the data model tab and let me take you to the individual. As you can see, I have data coming from 32 different sources. But now I don't have to worry because I'll have a single way of looking at an individual. Not just that, all the relationships, the one from Sales Cloud brought me accounts and opportunities, the one from service brought me cases, the one from marketing brought me all the engagement and so on. So I have this really rich graph of a harmonized graph of the entire enterprise here in one shot. Now, this still doesn't solve our identity problem because I have 10 million people, but turns out they're all probably the same people. So I can now use this identity resolution where I can actually do fuzzy matching rules and other rules to be able to then consolidate this. As an example, Salesforce itself had over 200 million individuals visiting our salesforce.com, but after using Data Cloud, we found it was more closer to 80 to 90 million unified people. Now, with the identity resolution, you can also create the golden record and reconcile because you may have 5 different zip codes, 5 different addresses, and so on. You can easily choose different reconciliation rules, most frequent, most recent, or you can choose exactly the source order priority as well. Now you can also do multiple identity rules. And with this power, you can actually start doing householding, unification, account, and so many more. Now that you have your 360 view, you can actually do AI or BI insights. You can easily create builder-based calculated insights, or you can actually do SQL-based insights. Again, you can do powerful insights such as product clusters or any dimension, lifetime engagement, recency, RFM metrics. You can also start doing things like every 5 minutes spent because of the streaming insight feature. We also allow AI insights. You can bring an AI tool of your choice. Here's an example. I've used Databricks, and you can easily connect to Databricks and look at all this and create models. But it's not just about creating models. You can also bring the models very easily using the power of Einstein Studio. As you can see, I have data models, AI models coming from many places, including SageMaker, Vertex, Databricks, and many more. And it's as simple as registering that endpoint with us, and all you can do then immediately is store any of the data in Data Cloud. You, with this power, because the score data is also other entities in Data Cloud, you can now use that everywhere. Well, let's first start with actions. What do you first do if you have a product? You want to market it with your marketing department. Well, with Data Cloud, we make it really easy. Your marketing can use simple generative segments. And as you can see, it automatically creates your segment for you and even warns you if you have attributes that could introduce bias. Now here I have a segment that is created, which is basically a highly engaged buyers outdoors and indoors. And as you can see, I'm looking for home ownership information that's coming from backend source, whether they have ever opened an email coming from Marketing Cloud, whether they browse a product that's coming from our Experience Cloud, or whether they have any case that's coming from Sales Service Cloud. And you can easily drag and drop any of these attributes or any related attributes or any of these things very easily. You can also bring in related segments too and drag and drop the segment data as well in here, or do exclusion, inclusion segments as well. Once you are happy with the segment, you can easily activate that segment into many of our rich ad partners. Now, it's not just a one-way street. With our ad partners, that data comes back to us, and you will be able to see very rich insights. Look at this Google Audience Insights here. For this segment, it shows how this segment of people is very interested in business and industrial products, 2x more than the normal. Whereas another different segment here, they are more interested in luxury vehicles. This kind of insights you can now use it and now create other segments, including lookalikes as well, and then trigger and power very rich activations as well. With our activations to Marketing Cloud, we make it really easy for you. All you have to do is choose the activation to Marketing Cloud, and we automatically will choose the right email to send based on Einstein, or the right phone number. Or you can also add all of these very rich related attributes as well. Look at this Einstein score. You can send that, or any of these other things as well. The moment I hit save, it'll automatically be available in the data extension, and we automatically maintain it. And now you can send them SMS, email, WhatsApp, and many more. And guess what? Once you've done all that, you can also see the intelligence aspect of it. Where is your revenue being spent? Which segments are high performing? And which segments, what are the attribute breakdowns by email, by paid media, and many, many more. This is the new segment intelligence we've just announced. Now that the users have done all of their marketing, guess what? They may land on your web page. When they land on your web page, you want to make sure it is actually personalized. And that's why we've integrated Data Cloud with our personalization engine. And with that power, you have the same profile that you targeted and with the same list of values. And so you can personalize your experience. Well, what happens if your prospect starts browsing your web page? Guess what? You can easily trigger a flow using our new Data Cloud trigger flows, which basically can go update a record and or update a Slack thread and go inform your salesperson. Now that salesperson will get triggered because we are doing this CRM generation lead on event. That salesperson is going to get notified. Well, normally if the salesperson just goes to their contact, they're going to see this view, which is not very helpful, which doesn't show all their website engagement or other things. Guess what? With Data Cloud integration, you can make it richer. Your salesperson can now see all of their loyalty status and platinum values and others. Not just that, all their engagement history as well. Isn't that useful? Well, let's assume that the users are continuing to the browsing, and you can also trigger other things too. You can start triggering events, webhooks, or to Marketing Cloud to do personalized journeys as well. Now, it's not just all about data actions. Now, let's come back to your user story. What happens if they come to your commerce website and now they're browsing and they want to do login, they want to do carts and everything else? Guess what? Commerce is also integrated with Data Cloud. So you have the same personalized experience on commerce, and you can bring all that order and carts and other information back. So your marketer can now further refine their segments as well back again. So it's a loop. But it's not just that as well. We have done that deep integration with platform. So now I can also do this copy field where I can actually take this rich data from the unified individual or others and then easily copy that into my contact or other Salesforce entities. I can also do this thing called related list, where basically I can actually control the row permissions from the parent in the case of contact, for example. And then I can choose the object that I want to actually show here. And all I have to do, click next, and this object will now be available as a related list. With that, I can now start doing very rich Lightning components and customize it. And now the user has service thing. They call the service console. Not a problem. Service person will now also see that same view of the individual. And it's not just that too. You also have this new service intelligence analytical application. This is a analytical application that is powered by Data Cloud. And now your service manager can see all their CSAT score, incoming surveys, and everything else. This is totally customizable for you because it also brings in all the conversational mining as well. This is by topic, by duration. What are they actually seeing in all of the conversations that your service persons are having? Well, now you saw Tableau, you saw sales, service, marketing, commerce, and personalization. And then one thing we wanted to show it to you was how does this now integrate? We saw all these great things. Do you have to copy all this data to make it work? Not really. This is where we're bringing in the power of bring your own lake. For example, I can do Google BigQuery. I can choose Google BigQuery. I can actually choose all the tables in Google and simply say, click this object that I want, click next, and they will be appearing as a Data Cloud object. You can do the same with Snowflake too. And so all these objects will now be appearing as direct access. As you can see, it's not an ingest. But it's not just about data in. Of course, you can do all the things that I talked about just right now, including AI scoring, insights, and segments, and showing it in Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, marketing, and so on. You can also take all those insights and easily share it also with your warehouse via this data sharing. With this data sharing, any table, you can now share it with these warehouses, and they will appear as private tables in Snowflake or in BigQuery, and you can start doing queries on it. This is literally zero copy, zero ETL. Now that you have talked about a lot of the stuff that we have right now, there's another cool thing that we have added called data graphs. I showed you the enterprise graph, and with data spaces, you can create those organizational graphs within them. But now we have a new thing called data graphs. Data graphs lets you take a subset of this that's relevant for each application, create a materialized objects, a composite object. This can now power Prompt Studio and make it contextual LLM prompts. You can also make it relevant for all your applications. Now let's see how that can actually work. Well, this data graph, you can create as many data graphs as you want. And each data graph, you can basically choose the list of entities that you want to choose. Now, as you can see, if I preview it, it's one composite JSON object that we are now able to store. Now, what does that mean? It means that I can actually see for any particular user, like Edward Stamos here, I'm seeing all of that related data in one shot. So how is that relevant for a prompt? Well, normally what you see in a prompt is that if I actually start a new prompt, as an example, I want this agent to start selling insurance policies. Now, if Edward Stamos happens to call in to that particular agent, basically, or if they're trying to do a sales call, if I just call LLM in this Prompt Studio, it's basically just giving me some very generic insights, not much for me to do anything about it. Well, with the power of our data graph, we can do so much more. So here I have plonked this data graph right there about Edward Stamos. And now let's see what our LLM is going to start giving. So if I do the same Edward Stamos and just wait for the response here, look at this. I didn't tell anything more than what I did last time, except I gave the data graph. And the LLM knows that Edward Stamos has shown a consistent pet insurance because he has viewed pet insurance multiple times on the website, right? So it's able to actually personalize that experience because the data graph brought me all that related information that Edward Stamos had. And that's the power that data graph can actually bring to your enterprise. Not just that, of course, I can also use that prompts that I've created. And now I can start doing GPT email recommendations, or I can do reply recommendations in service. I can do Tableau GPT, Slack GPT, and many, many more. This is the power of Data Cloud, where with our Lakehouse architecture, we can have a single platform for doing analytics, AI, real-time decisioning, event processing, and applications all bundled together with the power of our Salesforce platform. Thank you.